Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation. So this game came out on many platforms over many years. Never hit the PS2, but it was on the original PlayStation, and that's where the game sold very, very, very well, won many awards. I played the hell out of it. I would assume most people played the hell out of it. Now, it's not my favorite Tony Hawk, but I certainly played a lot of this one. And the thing is, I never played Pro Skater 1. I never played the first one, so this was the first Tony Hawk game I ever played as well. And this is what started it all for me. I mean, I owe this game a lot for what happened over the course of my life, which was I started playing this game. I knew about skating beforehand and all that, but I wasn't really that hugely interested in it. And I started playing this game, and then I became a skater right after. I went out and bought a board, and it wasn't just like a one-off thing. I skated for like 3-4 years, and I enjoyed it. It was a good time of my life. At a certain point, it was like, skating just wasn't really for me. I was somewhat decent at it. I could manual. I could, do a few flip tricks. I was mostly, I wasn't that good at vert. I did a lot of street stuff, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, I owe this game a good 3-4 years of my life that I thoroughly enjoyed and certainly loved. So that's the thing, man. Like, now, Steve Caballero was my boy. That's who I always played as. I love Steve. And that's another thing. Once I got into skating, I started watching skating, getting into the magazines and everything, so I always watched Steve's work. And, of course, everyone else is Bob Burnquist, Tony Hawk, and all them. All the professional skaters. Rodney Mullen, too. Rodney Mullen's crazy. So here it is. Here's Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 2. The factory. This is the warehouse. This is a classic level of Tony Hawk. The thing about this game is, you can string tricks, and it's just like, it's so addictive because you string all these tricks together for such a super long time, and you've got this huge high score, and you start integrating the specials with it, and you can get really, really lost in this game. Every level starts you off with like a little scenario where it's like, find SKATE everywhere, and it's like, oh, ollie the bum, and ollie over a certain gap. It just has you do all sorts of stuff. I didn't, looking back at it now, it's not a great initial setup because it's timed, so you have to keep replaying it, and you only have a specific set of time to meet all those goals. Now, you don't have to meet each goal every time. You can complete one, then, go back and do another, but it's kind of tedious now that, looking back at it, you can see that's kind of the layout of what the things that you can jump into and try and do. And then you earn money, and you can buy stats for your character. That's really addictive. That's certainly a great part of the game. I was always into that. I'd always do my grinds and manuals first, because those are really the core of trying to string together a really long trick. This is some new footage I recorded just a few days ago. I still have the original PlayStation disc, so you can see I was doing pretty bad, actually, but I kind of get the hang of it later. I put so many hours into this game. I think I would have to say 3 is probably my favorite Tony Hawk game by far, though. Let's see, we're at the school now. I string together a pretty decent trick right here. The PS1 days, I was really, really young. The PlayStation was my first video game console, so back then I was kind of stupid with games, and when I started watching skating and I got really into skating, and I would watch competitions and stuff, I would always be like, how come in the game I'm way better than them? I'm like, how come they can't string together a manual and then do varial heel flips and then do some crookeds and then do it into spin off into a method off vert? How come they can't do all that? They can only do a few tricks at a time. And I was so young, I couldn't understand that it's kind of physically impossible, right? But I would always play the game, and I'm like, man, how come they can't string together tricks like that in real life? And then, of course, you start actually skating yourself, and you realize it's a goddamn hard sport. Skating is very, very difficult, and it takes a lot of years to really refine and hone some skills in it. It's a deep craft, so it takes a while. And I know that one firsthand. So yeah, I owe a lot of years to this game. See, that's the thing about video games, is I owe a lot of the experiences in my life. I also got really into Tiger Woods at one point, and so I went out and bought a set of clubs, and I still love golfing to this day because of that. The golf games are what got me into actually physically going out and golfing. So you can create. Here's how you can create a skater. I never really did this. I always just chose Steve Caballero. You can choose some. You can really make these people look pretty twisted, to be honest. This dude looks like some kind of rejected alien. I don't know. He doesn't look good. But I think I speak for most people when you spend a good portion of this game in creating a skate park, your own skate park. 2 had to create a skate park. I think 3 had a much better system in place. I gotta go back and check that out, because looking back at this, when I was in the skate park, I remember you could, like, I don't remember, it must have been 3, but you could, like, change, there was way more options, and you could, make the skate park super long, or you could make it super wide. You could, like, craft the entire, like, playground, and there were a lot more options for, like, more dangerous obstacles. But I'm tooling around with the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 one here, and then you go to test play, and that was a lot of fun. But I think that's why I really preferred 3 mostly because the park editor was way better. You can see I got, like, a spike pit right there, which I'm going to purposely fall in, because why not? Tony Hawk Pro Skater, man, big part of my life. I fucking loved this game. I'd have to imagine some of you guys loved this game. Tell me about it. Let's talk about it. Who was your favorite skaters, dude, if you were into skating? Because, like I said, Steve Caballero, one of mine. Rodney Mullen, too. That dude was a beast. That dude could actually he could actually recreate some of the crazy tricks that you could do in the game. That's how good he was at street and manuals and all that. Anyway, that's it for me in this one. Hope you enjoyed this little throwback nostalgia look at Pro Skater 2. And I'll see you in my next video.